Yo, what it do, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, Will. This is Phantom Frequency, where we dive into the entire multiverse of pop culture. And y'all know we are huge MCU heads around here, at least for the most part. So you know we weren't gonna miss talking about the latest piece of content, if you will, from the world of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. That's right. You already know what it is, man. And I'm talking about none other than the third volume, the third season, the continuation, and the ending, the culmination of the Marvel Studios animated show. What If, baby? It's the spoiler review. We're going to get into this entire third season for the most part. Not going to break it down in too painstaking detail, but we are going to definitely get into my overall thoughts, positives, negatives, and all that. And, kind of where I've been at with the show overall. And overall, I've never been a huge fan of What If. I definitely would say that I enjoyed season two the most out of the three so far, or out of the three in general, since the show is over now. But I've never been a huge fan of it. It would always be more in like in a B C tier kind of ranking for me in the world of the MCU. I definitely don't dislike the show. I do get some good entertainment value, at least out of a handful of episodes at the bare minimum. And this season's the same. So, but I just felt like season two just kind of came together with the most creative, unique ideas that really pushed the boundaries of what you could see with certain characters and get more creative and more of a streamlined through line for the overall season as well. I felt like this one was definitely much more unfocused, and some of the premises, even in and of themselves, like the Howard the Duck shit. You know what I mean? Like episodes like that to me, they just feel like a waste of time. They don't really build on what's going on with the overall Uatu Watcher storyline. Doesn't build on any specific type of character that we're really all that invested in seeing on the screen, or something that, like, a lot of the flashes and teases they did in the finale of like a Weapon X Thanos or some shit like that, and Jubilee and Colossus running around doing stuff. That's kind of the stuff we want to see with this season three. And I felt like in What If, and really pushing the boundaries of having the mutants and all the Spider-Man characters and things like that involved in the rights and all that with the MCU, you want to see stuff like that. But I just felt like a lot of the premises and a lot of the kind of stories for the episodes just really didn't come together that way. Some of them turned out pretty good, like the Red Guardian and Winter Soldier episode. I really enjoyed. I think that was episode three, if I'm not mistaken. I'm losing track of the episodes because I binged through them kind of quickly. Um, and I really enjoyed the episode with Shang-Chi and Kate Bishop in the Wild West. And I also liked the last two episodes overall. So the finale was cool for what it was. But a lot of the episodes in general for me were just kind of mid tier, or just kind of meh, or just didn't really come together with the premise that I thought was all that interesting. Like the mech kind of kaiju kind of thing going on with the Gundam Avengers thing. And the first episode was all right, I guess. I've never been a huge Gundam fan, you know what I mean? I liked Power Rangers growing up, but I'm not necessarily in that bag when it comes to anime or Japanese culture, pop culture, if you will. I like anime and things like that, but I'm not necessarily into the mech ones. Not a big fan of Pacific Rim. You know what I'm saying? So just not really my vibe per se. I like some kaiju stuff, some Godzilla, King Kong, or whatever, but I'm just more of a casual fan with it. So it wasn't necessarily something I was like super hyped about. But I thought the Godzilla kind of Hulk gamma radiation idea was interesting and kind of made sense. But overall, it's whatever's. And that's just kind of how I feel about the overall season in general. That is just kind of whatever's. It's just very meh. Like, getting to see Storm as a version of Thor in this sense, the goddess of thunder, is cool and all, but you don't get a lot of like build up to it. And I don't think they really played into the full potential of getting to see that play out for a full episode on its own before you see her as a leader of the Exiles, and doing the same thing for characters like Natasha Leone's original character they introduced in here of Birdie, who's Darcy and Howard the Duck's daughter or whatever, right? In a future part in whatever timeline they're from, but they didn't really lead up to that character in a way that was all that satisfying. I dug the way she was playing it, and likewise for the original X-Men 97 and X-Men 90 series voice actor of Aurora coming back to do Storm in this one. But yeah, overall, it's just like you didn't really build up those characters or really use them enough or give us enough context, even with characters like Kiori, another original character they created for the MCU in the previous season. One of my favorite episodes of the What If series in general was the Kiori episode last season. So this one was definitely a bit of a disappointment just to kind of see her used as a background player. Getting to see Agent Carter back, of course, Captain Britain in a sense, really awesome as well. Getting to see her lead the team and get a big spotlight towards the latter half of the season, kind of wrapping everything up and tying all 3 seasons together, because we saw her become um the super soldier in the first season. Then we saw the whole Winter Soldier arc in the second, and then this one kind of leaning more into the Avengers kind of big multiverse angle going on. So you definitely still had that same Captain America trajectory and kind of through line for her character throughout the series. So I thought that was one of the more stronger elements that they definitely landed in this season and in the show overall. So that's definitely something I'll carry with me. And if we see her again outside of something in live action, like with Doomsday or Secret Wars coming up, that's a little bit more substantial than what we got in Multiverse of Madness, but getting to see the action, but getting better, a better written role for her in that regard, I think could really bring things around and really implement and improve what's already happened, that I think is the best arc and kind of the best character of the What If series, at least to me, in my personal opinion. Let me see. Was there any other episodes that I thoroughly enjoyed like that? No, not really. But yeah, man. So overall for me, I think this season was a bit of a disappointment, but I didn't hate it by any means. But it definitely just wasn't quite there for me overall, and kind of keeping up the same quality as the first 2 seasons. Because, like I said, I'm not over the moon about either of those, but I thought they were definitely more consistent and more entertaining than these particular episodes of this third season. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not one of those big MCU haters. I take everything, each individual project as what it is, and just the overall through line for the MCU these days is nowhere near as strong as it used to be. But individual projects and stuff do still work for me. I've had fun with a lot of the movies, and some of the movies in phases 4 and 5, I would say at least 3 or 4 of them are some of my favorites in the whole MCU now. Not necessarily the best, but I'm just saying they're one of my favorites and in some of the best, in my personal opinion. Loki and WandaVision to me are 2 of the best all-time Marvel projects outside of the Infinity War Endgame situation with the Avengers 2-parter. Outside of that, those are the best projects to me over Winter Soldier and all that. So I still think there's a lot to offer for the phases 4 through 6 in the MCU. I'm still a fan, but I definitely have to call it like I see it and keep it real with y'all. And this series was definitely mid-tier, definitely very much in that realm of where Echo was, where it's entertaining, good lead actor, good acting going on, good choreography and action, but overall, good production value pretty much. But overall, it just doesn't come together in a story of where it keeps you fully invested the whole time. It really leaves an impression with me, because even some of the episodes I can't even remember, like 1 or 2 of them right now. And that goes to show you where it's just not really connecting with me on that level. And if something's not connecting with me on an emotional or like real kind of deeper kind of level in that sense, I'm not really going to connect or vibe out with it, or it's not really going to sit with me. You know what I'm saying? Even if I enjoyed it, I can acknowledge what works and what doesn't. But if it doesn't sit with me, I can't necessarily say that's a great piece of the MCU. You know what I'm saying? But regardless of how you guys feel out there, whether you loved it, hated it, fell somewhere in between like myself, let us know down in the comment section below. We got a lot of videos coming at y'all ending 2024 and transitioning us into 2025. We're going to have our top 10 movies of the year list coming up soon. I just got to catch up on some films that I really want to make sure to get into the equation before I make my finalized list. Got top 5 TV series coming at y'all. And we got a big second channel announcement coming very soon. So make sure you keep your eyes peeled for all the dopeness we have going on here on the channel. Thank you so much for checking out this video. For every single one of you that stuck around to the end, all the new subscribers and viewers coming in here, whether you click the button or not, whether you're lurking in there, and as long as you're giving us a view and giving us some support, hitting the like, whatever, we appreciate each and every one of you. And until next time, make sure you stay safe out there. And we're going to have some more content for you within hours. So make sure you stay tuned and don't sleep. Much love. Peace out.